This is DayZ on PlayStation 4. We're doing a review of the game. So, for context, I am on the base PlayStation 4 console, and I primarily play on the 1X when it comes to DayZ, and I have experience on the PC version as well. So I kind of know all about what's going on. So this is from the menu 1.02, and it should be basically the same sort of experience that we're seeing on Xbox, just in terms of content. It's a little bit behind, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. So differences, it's still got a 60 player server kind of cap that many people can hop on. The big difference that I've noticed or was told are that names, when people are chatting in-game, actually show up on the screen. So that's kind of less anonymous, because on Xbox that doesn't happen. But I guess PlayStation requires it. Other than that, kind of the same thing. So cool. Yeah, DayZ, if you're not familiar with it, is an open-world zombie survival game. I always personally say that the zombies aren't the real threat, the other humans are. So yeah, your goal in the game is to interact with other people and basically try to survive as long as you can. There's no particular goal to the game. You're not really trying to do anything in it. Basically, I say the main goal is to go and gather loot, survive, get guns, come back to the beach, and play around with people. That's basically what happens. Other players aren't friendly in it, and you shouldn't expect them to be. Your interactions will kind of vary, and you get all kinds of funny things. When it comes to gameplay, the performance is honestly really piss poor in this. Tons of screen tearing, lots of performance drops. It's really bad in cities. When you're outside of cities, it's a little bit better, but not really. Even like some of the fine edges aren't too sharp in this. I think I got a road flare like that. The model looks really kind of, jagged. Not a lot of great anti-aliasing in effect here. And I feel like I'm bothering people by showing the same areas multiple times. But I have different servers, so there's different loot. So we're going to quickly kind of run through here. And I think this is a good indicator, of a regular city. This is like the main city. This is the one everybody really knows. So you're just kind of seeing, that in action as I'm sort of running through it. It's a technical game, so you actually do need to drink and eat in order to survive. You can get sick in the game. The weather, it can rain. There's a full day-night cycle. Well, it's not full. Night is accelerated usually. But you get what I mean. It can get dark and then you can barely see at night. I personally don't like playing at night, but, all to their own. You get cool things. Not yet available, but there's going to be more night-based things, like night vision goggles and stuff to make it easier. Right now you got to use sort of a flare. The flare you can pop and you can see, or you can use a flashlight and stuff. But then you're really visible to people and they'll shoot you. Okay, moving past that, there's a variety of houses. You're going to find a lot of different sort of locations in the world. It's a massive map to explore. Most people don't leave the coast, so you're not really going to run into people if you're out in the middle of nowhere, but it's still a cool experience to get out there and see. Geared, cool. I got that achievement finally. Awesome. So yeah, you're going to find things. Guns are kind of rare, guys. I'm going to be honest there. But you will find things like guns and melee tools, and you actually have to kind of load things, which is kind of a big deal. And yeah, you can also kind of hold, I guess, triangle to do that. But it's a very technical sort of experience. You can chat in-game using the D-pad. You can hold it in order to chat, or you can double tap. Which is kind of weird because I believe on Xbox they got rid of the double tap, so I don't know why that's here. Maybe it's a permanent feature on this version. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just really not too blown away by the performance on, again, the base PS4. It leaves quite a lot to be desired. Yeah, sort of really not that great. And the servers are constantly resetting and super full. But I mean, that's just going to happen at launch. Everybody's jumping in to try it. It'll even out over time and they'll remove some servers. I definitely suggest playing on servers with persistence on, because there are certain things you can do in the game, like fix up a car and drive around. You can build a base. You can place things in the world. You can have stashes in dirt, so items and stuff. you know, all kinds of things. Yeah, sort of neat to see. You can wear bags and have clothing items, and you can adjust your clothing. The inventory is like super sleek, to be honest. I mean, it's really nice and clean, easy to understand. You know, you can like quick equip things, and I should probably do that with the shotgun too. That way you can switch between items and stuff. Oh, is it? Okay, there we go. It was like frozen for a sec there. That's new. But yeah, for the most part, you're trying to survive. Other technical aspects I'd like to mention are that you can like cut down trees using knives, and then you can create tools such as spears or fire in order to cook your food items, because you can get sick and stuff, as mentioned. You can also get cut, and you can like be bleeding, and you can get injured. All sorts of wonderful things in this. And obviously there's lots of zombies too, so they're fun. You gotta be careful on your health, because you can die, and when you die, it's permadeath in this game. Permadeath? What? That means you lose everything you had, and you start back from nothing. So, you know, be prepared for that in this game, because that is the reality of the experience. But can you sleep or something and keep... No, you don't get spawn points. You just start back on the beach with nothing, and you have to find things. And it's gonna happen a lot to you if you're new to the game. Even if you're not new to the game, it still happens. You get in gunfights, zombies catch you off balance, you're gonna die. It's just part of the experience. We're gonna go to the main road, and then we're gonna head north, so I can kind of talk about things and get myself in a different position for showing stuff off. Why are you not dying? So yeah, you're actually gotta be smart too. Where you hit people, it's also like a big deal. Zombies are a little... I think the zombies are gonna get a little bit less aggressive in future updates, because they are not so aggressive on Xbox. Because geez, right now they are just real monsters. Oh my god. Equip that on our back. So lots of clothing items and stuff. You don't get to pick your character right now. They're supposed to be adding character customization, but they've been saying that forever on Xbox, so see if that's a thing. You can also get like sick, as in like vomit. Oh, did new stuff just kind of appear? Do I have a clip for that? Was that I-70 or something? Because I think I got FX. And this 0.38. Yeah, I think that's not for this gun, because this one does 0.45. Yeah. That's a shame. Oh, there's a field vest here, but I already have one. How is my field vest? Oh yeah, things can get damaged and stuff too. And it's still pristine, so I don't need that. But yeah, you can actually have like clothing items and that get damp or they get wrecked. So you gotta take care of stuff and everything like that. Folding stock, yeah. Yeah, and you get attachments for guns, so you can sort of pimp things out and everything like that. It's a very neat game just in terms of the technical aspects of, you know, finding resources, trying to survive, dealing with other people. It's kind of like a bit of a social experiment, to be honest. The clouds actually look pretty good at this point. They were a huge issue for me on Xbox for the longest time, but yeah, not bad at all. I like the clouds on here. I just wish the performance was a bit better, and I kind of wish that my character wasn't so hurt. Just kind of an inconvenience when you're trying to showcase things off. Now, obviously, the more players involved, the more you're going to see your performance hindering in the game. So that should be noted. You're going to see that less when you're out of cities in the forest. Looks like there's somebody near here. Yeah, so we're going to be careful. People are, again, hostile. I haven't died yet, so hopefully I don't, but I can die. You can shave too, if you didn't see the other video. Yeah, you can shave your character's face, because why not? Let's take a look. So you gotta be smart. I always suggest going to the beaches for food and supplies, really helpful. And then head inland when you're more comfortable with the game. Tons of different building types, but you'll get familiar with them fairly quickly as you understand what certain stores have in them, what they have to offer. And again, it's kind of like sort of random loot. You never know exactly what you're going to get. So you got to look around and just kind of hope that you find something useful to your survival. But I mean, there's lots of resources in that, so it's unlikely that you're going to truly have a hard time finding things. If you are struggling, you know, it takes time to get used to it. So overall, I mean, I haven't played the base Xbox, but I'd say the One X definitely runs the game better. I can't speak for the PS4 Pro at this point because I don't have access to one, but the base version of this game really doesn't run too well. I'm not happy about that in the slightest. I don't know, like, hopefully they clean it up a bit, but if, like, this is supposed to be, you know, something they took time on to make sure everything was good for launch, and it leaves something to be desired, quite honestly. Let's see if we got any kind of drink. Oh yeah, we got a Mad Moss, or Mad Monkavoss. Try to open up the space a bit. See your inventory, I can get all full up. I don't know why I always end up crouching when I do that. It's so weird. Remember, you know, you make noise and stuff in the world. You can see that in the bottom left. I don't know if I mentioned that this time around, but yeah, it does kind of matter how you interact with things, how you deal with stuff. It also seems kind of buggy. Why is that in the middle of the screen there? That's weird. This is so weird sometimes. So yeah, again, you don't really have a point. You're not trying to do anything. There's no quests. There's no NPCs. There's nothing really that you need to do. It's a very niche sort of survival game that is actually super popular. I mean, it is. You can say it isn't, but the game seriously does have like a dedicated following, and it certainly grabs the interest of a lot of people. I personally wish it was in a better state on this console, but it's still, you know, kind of a fun, compelling experience. I enjoy playing it at this point. Kind of dealing with it. You're seeing like a bit of how the changes in the day going on here. So that's kind of cool too while we're doing this. And you just go around meeting people, talking to folks, and exploring and understanding the world. I suggest getting an external map in order to know the world a bit better. Because I mean, there's ton, like, it's hard to even describe the size of this world. You could spend just quite a few hours walking through it. Like, I've done like a whole tour, and it took like just a ton of episodes of like 20 minutes just to get across this place. And there's so many like forest locations, there's military zones, there's dams, there's rivers, there's castles you can find, cool hills, destroyed locations. Sometimes there's like distinct sort of spots too. You'll get like main indicators. So the town back there was Lichtenstein or whatever the hell. That's like, I'd say, the main kind of building, not main building, but main city. This right here is like the construction area. I can't remember what it is. The factory, yeah. People keep calling it the lumber yard. This is not the lumber yard. The lumber yard is way down the road, just kind of on the road outside of Berzino. They are distinct areas now. There's different ways to actually like explore this world, which is kind of neat. I say that in the sense that you can use like the beach as an indicator of knowing where you're going. There's actually trails in the world out there in the forest that you can go to. Like, you can go anywhere here. You can go like all the way to the top of the mountain over there, and like way past it, because there's like tons and tons and tons of mountains past it, and towns and other cities to go to. There's also like power lines you can follow. You can follow the roads. There's like a railroad track that goes like through the whole place. So that's kind of neat. And it's really up to you how you want to explore it. Again, I'm hoping I'm kind of showing off some of the more details here. We talk enough about the jagged edges. Like, you look at the models here, not really jagged, and you see like a lot of the trees sort of like render as you're running through it. You like especially see with like shadows, and some of the trees have like a 2D sort of load to them until you get closer. So that's not good. I'd still say the draw distance is respectable. There's like a good density with the actual grass as you're running through it, so that's important. Yeah. And you do get to see a good distance, because I mean, it's kind of important when you're doing gunfights, especially if you have something that's like a scoped or like a rifle. You want to be able to shoot at a distance. But the performance is just kind of like, ugh, you know. Definitely could be better, as I said that a few times. Leaves a lot to be desired, because I mean, if you're going into a gunfight and the game is like screen tearing and it's, you know, choppy frame rates, you're not gonna have a good time. And it's kind of frustrating to die, you know, just kind of due to the game's performance and stuff. I can see that being a big issue in the future for people. And yeah, if you get into a server and you don't like the time of day, you can leave and pick another one. Now, if it's busy, go to the middle of the list. I don't like playing at night. That's personal preference. Just be known that to stop what's like sort of like a resource hopping thing, there will be a delay if you like quit a server quickly and then go to another one. Just thought that's worth mentioning, just so you know that aspect of the experience. Yeah, I've seen things really render as you run through it. It's a little bit more peaceful. It could be a really calming game. Like most of the time it's relaxed, you're chilling out, you're doing things, but it could get really sort of heart pulsing sort of moments when you're fighting with somebody in like a confined space, or there's zombies running at you. Some of the zombie swarms can get insane. I remember going to like a military area and there were so many zombies. I should also mention that cars are like super rare in this. You're very unlikely to find one. They spawn in certain spots, and they're a lot of work to do because you got to get like the tires and the spark plug and battery and everything like that in order to get it to work. So that's pretty intense. I mean, environmentally, they sort of really nail things with DayZ, at least to my opinion. I wish there was a little bit more of an ambience, but you do get to hear like rustling and stuff like that going on. So, I mean, it's not too bad in that regard. It has like a very vibrant sort of world, like with the trees moving and the grass. It feels like sort of realistic and lively. They just aim to do a lot of technical things that other titles don't do, especially with like the way you can get sick and how you have to deal with like the damp water, like rain, but you don't really see rain at all. I haven't seen it in ages. There was one time where it glitched and it was just like soggy rain in the game for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was crazy. The updates they've been doing fairly consistently on Xbox, so I would imagine it'd be the same with the PlayStation version. We'll have to see how that kind of affects the cycle of updates with the game, but they actually do seem to support it with some new content, and usually when they do release new content, it's like a lot of new content at once. I remember one update came and I think it was like vehicles, gardening, structure building, tons of items, new guns and stuff all at once, so usually get a whole plethora of new things to play with, which is kind of cool. It looks like we're just going to make the cut down time there, so that's good. I should also mention when you log out, you got to wait a little bit before you can leave. Back in the day, you could quick leave and you could die, and I don't know if they'll re-implement that, but people got really mad about it. Also, be thankful that you do spawn with some items in this one when it was on Xbox for a long time. Oh, look, there's somebody over there. So there's 2 people over there. Kind of 3 people over there. They got a fire going. That's cool. Yeah, I guess I could go investigate. You actually get to spawn. You get like a water item. You get like a food item. You get a rock so that you can do stuff like craft things. And you get rags. Before, I think it was like a flare. Oh, and you get a flare too. You get a flare and you get like a rag. That was what it was back in the day. And stuff like that. But they've since made it a lot better. You guys are like just by the fire. So you don't necessarily have to interact with people. I think they're just kind of waiting out the timing. I don't want to lose my gear either, so I'm not going to do anything. It's kind of creepy how they have a little thing going on, but, all to their own. Good for them. They got that going. Oh, I really like this town. I've seen to spawn here a lot on the Xbox version. So yeah, it's just about going out, surviving, meeting people, doing things, having weird adventures. That's what... Oh. That's kind of depressing. And, I guess I should have maybe went and killed people instead of chilling out. That sucks. And then you respawn and you, lose everything and you start with nothing again, which is kind of depressing, but that's how the game is. You spawn a new location, you might be able to go get your stuff, sometimes you can't. With the server restarting, there's not a chance that maybe I will be able to get my stuff. It's gonna be tight, guys. We're gonna try to do this. Yeah, there's a guy there just cooking something on the thing. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I guess him and his buddies chased after me and they went and shot me, which is not really cool, but, you know, that's how people are in this game. They are not nice people. So just be aware of that. With a quick server restart, I'm going to try to get in here and see if I can grab items. At least cause issues for these guys. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So we actually get that out of my inventory. God, this game runs horribly on here.